You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming, and something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you on the Let's Play episode of Sylving Reforged. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! The fox is talking to the spice rack in a daze, evidently mistaking it for Agnarr. His balance is so bad it's a miracle he hasn't collapsed yet. Agnarr is forced to step in and steady him by resting their paws on his shoulders. Here we go. Lord Mikkel, just hold on to me. He pushes the now sleepwalking fox towards the exit. I hurry to the door and hold it open for them. I'll be back soon, Aaron. Wait, can I at least have some of your mane, too? Fox reaches for me futilely, as he is gently forced through the door by the wolf. I wave to Mikkel by the door as I watch them walk down the street. I hope he actually sleeps when he gets home. It was fun being out today for a change. It was only for a short couple of hours, but I think I've had enough exploring for one day. Going back inside, I flip open the book to see the walls of the text on every page. Well, it can't hurt to reading a little. Could do some warming up to Mikkel's lecture tomorrow, so I'm prepared for it. And because of that, Scales Scraval lost his leg in that terrible storm because of the misfortune by the spoon. Or that is how the ancestor living in the village has told me. Why could a misplaced spoon bring misfortune at a wedding? I have never read nor heard any other times where this happened, so I don't know where they got this idea from. These superstitious are all quite silly, if you ask me. There was no reason nor logic to them over such trivial things. Now, where was I? Oh, right. The wedding of the Scravel family. After misplacing that particular spoon, the aunt of the young doe to-be wife had brought a silver cane as her wedding present, which was believed to be owned by... Make it stop! It's been hours! Hours of Mikkel going on and on about so many things. He's given me no time to breathe, or think, or digest any of what he's saying. It wasn't so bad at first, but he's got a nasty habit of going into unnecessary detail. It's so bad I can't even remember the big picture stuff that I'm supposed to be learning. And he keeps using all this jargon, too. Names and places I have no context for and likely never will. I've tried asking what those words mean a few times, but that only provokes a new winding lecture on a completely irrelevant tangent. I'm too scared to ask any questions anymore. Whenever I fantasized about getting caught up in an adventure like this, I never imagined it would involve so much rote book learning. Might as well be back in high school. But when she brought forth the chains, Mikkel, please, it's been hours and we haven't even had a break. It's hard keeping everything you've said so far in my head. If we keep going like this, my brain will literally explode. My apologies, Aaron. I thought that since you're a Sylving, you would have no trouble learning at this pace. I'll remember to note your current limit for taking in new knowledge. I must say I'm surprised you have such low endurance for memorization. Rude. If you'd rather dictate the pace of your education, then we can do that. Oh, good. Glorious water. Oh my god. Do you have any ideas for our next topic? Finally, I thought he'd never give me the chance. Could you tell me more about those magic rocks from yesterday? It's my first time seeing something like that. Of course. I was going to discuss them next, after going through the basic history of our village, but we can have a look at them now. That was basic history? I feel like I was studying for a master's degree. The fox takes up his satchel and presents me with a small pouch. My energy inverts from 0 to 100 in an instant. Been looking forward to this all day. Mikkel hands me the pouch, and I immediately pull it open, beholding the kaleidoscope of radiant colors dancing within. Each of these crystals contains a different element, reflected by their dominant color. While there are a greater number of crystal types across the world, these are the most commonly used. Red is fire, blue is water, cyan is ice, yellow is light, and green is air. It's pretty simple. Knowing which one is what will be easy. So, how do you use them? Oh, that part is so fascinating. Do you want the drab, short summary, or would you rather hear the full extent of my knowledge and acquire a crystal clear understanding? The first one. Mikkel looks both caught off guard and disappointed, but he quickly composes himself and tugs on his collar, letting out some heat. Guess he really wanted to give a whole lecture on magical crystal theory. There are certain crystals in our world that are naturally capable of storing a specific energy, force, or substance within them. When exposed to a specific metal, this attribute reverses, expelling the stored product. Allow me to demonstrate. He splays his palm, asking for me to return the pouch of gems. I do so, and he walks towards the window. He then closes the shutters, darkening the room significantly. with only a thin ray of sunlight peeking through. Next, he extracts the yellow crystal and presents it with the metal baton from yesterday. Then he simply brings the two together, and the moment the wand makes contact, the crystal's glow intensifies. The effect is soft, radiant, and warm, filling the whole kitchen. It's not as bright as I was expecting, akin to a dim bulb threatening to go out, but it's still brighter than a candle. This one here is called a sunstone, containing sunlight as its element. You may have noticed larger ones of this variety around town being used as street lamps. They absorb sunlight all day, and then keep our town lit well into the night. How do you get the light inside it? He pulls the baton away, and the room goes dark again. And like before, the stone's normal emissive glow returns, somewhat dimmer than before Mikkel's demonstration. He pivots the shutters of the windows to allow thin rays of sunlight to breach through. He then holds the stone aloft in one such strand, and I can see the light from it is wholly absorbed into the stone. While there are countless factors that influence how the absorption process works, all that is needed is for the crystal to be exposed to the element it stores. As the magical rock gulps down its fill, its luster grows and grows until it returns to its original brilliance. With enough time and exposure, it will reach capacity, at which point it will not hold any more and become inert, much like any container. I know for this one in particular it's hard to see, but this light crystal has absorbed every ounce of sunlight that's shown on it, to be released at a later date. This logic applies to all the differing elements, though there are some discrepancies in how efficiently a stone can absorb its respective element. So a firestone must be put in an actual fire, while a waterstone must be submerged in water? Precisely, but there's more to it than that. See, if you place a water crystal in a container of water, it will absorb the water out, but only the water. Any other dissolved substance is left behind. This actually adds an industrial application, as it can be used to gather salt from seawater or other processes that require swift dehydration. That's incredible! Water stones are more commonly used to transport large quantities of potable water in a relatively small container, a potentially life-saving innovation when traveling the seas or through hot and arid lands. Just make sure you mix in something soluble before consumption. Such distilled water can actually cause indigestion or, in large enough quantities, intestinal damage. I feel like the implications of such things would be world-changing. I wish we had these back in my world. So many issues could be resolved so easily. Yes. They are fascinating things. I've been studying them thoroughly for the past few years, and have developed a few theories on how they might work on a more fundamental level. So, y'all, plug this thing in real quick. There we go. You are plugged in. Okay. But alas, it's not possible to progress without talking with the Agnarrs. They're dangerous, but they have the best understanding of magic. I was going to ask about maybe finding a way to get the crystals to power the gates, but the mention of Agnarr again catches my interest. Agnarr said something about Agnarrs before when we first met. He asked me if I was one. What are they? Didn't I tell you about them? He digs through his notes, papers flying to and fro. He fishes out a particular piece of paper and scrutinizes it, eyes darting through the lines in disbelief. It would seem I've somehow neglected to mention the history between our forefathers, the Agnarrs and the involvement of the Sylvings. Odd. It's the most defining period of our history. It was meant to be the focus of today's lecture. How did it get so led astray? He continues to rummage through his notes, trying to find where past Mikkel might have betrayed him. It's the first day of learning, and my already lean faith in his teaching skills just evaporated. Seriously? You forgot the number one most important thing you were meant to tell me? I believe Sir Agnarr might have been right. That you work yourself too hard and need a break? A long one, maybe? But no, the opposite. I should have done more and coordinated with him regarding your syllabus. These subjects are paramount not only to your blending in, but also for resolving our initial predicament. Here, let me start over. It all began 600 years ago. Come on, Mikkel, please! Can't we do this tomorrow? God, I can feel my brain oozing out of my ears. Oh, but we must cover this today. We can't take the risk of you lacking such critical information. Everyone's been told this story since we were little cubs and kittens. You said yourself, it's the number one most important thing you should learn. No, damn it, I should have just kept my mouth shut until our next session. I've already used up the last of my brain cells today on those magic crystals. My mind feels like it's burning. Now, let's talk about the A heavy knock at the door interrupts him, followed by the heroic visage of Agnarr stepping inside, putting Mikkel's rambling to a halt. He's carrying a big sack through the door, filled filled with who knows what. Ah, Sir Agnarr. You're early. Is lesson time over already? Agnarr sets the sack down and cocks an eyebrow, his eyes darting between my distress, Mikkel's good humor, and the afternoon light filtering through the window. I am actually fairly late, my lord. Construction at the fairgrounds took longer than I had anticipated. Nonsense. It's not... Ooh, excuse me. Nonsense. It's not half past noon. The fox takes a gander out the window and his cheery expression plummets. Harrogate! Is it that late already? Oh, my brother is going to skin me alive. He immediately begins snatching up his notes from all over the table and floor, leaving many behind. He crams them and his equipment haphazardly into his bag before putting on his vest. The staging grounds are bigger and more elaborate than usual. Are we expecting more noble families coming for the event? Should I be... I'm so terribly sorry to cut our time short, but I must get back home. I'll see you tomorrow, Erwin. And remind me to purchase an hourglass the next time I visit. Another one? But don't you already have one in your... Before Agnarr can finish his sentence, the fox is already out, slamming the door behind him. Man, he really is just a bundle of energy when he's not sleep-deprived. Sorry for the delay. I went to the smithy to give Jacob the baked goods I promised. Even though I've paid for the repair, there's no way I can let him starve when he's so busy. No worries, I'm just glad you came now and not a minute later. Had he gone on another minute, I think my brain might have sprouted legs and run for the hills. Wasn't that bad, was it? Oh no, it was bad. Never asked Mikkel anything to do with history. He kept going without a second to even breathe. He can get carried away when it comes to sharing his knowledge. I think he forgets just how vast and thorough his education is compared to most. Just keep reminding him whenever you need a break. You may have noticed, but he doesn't have the best sense of time. No kidding, I'll remember that. Now that your time with Lord Mikkel is done for the day, we'll go and do some training. That should help clear your mind after a tough session like that. When you're ready, we'll head out and I'll show you to the grounds where we'll conduct today's lesson. I will take responsibility for teaching you how to properly use your new lion physique. Great, I've been itching to stretch my legs all day. Alright then, we'll leave right away. Agnarr hoists up his cargo again and holds the door open for me. I pose a question as I step out and down the steps. What do you got in the sack? Looks heavy. Just some tools and leftover supplies for the morning labors. They're actually stored where we're going, so we won't need to make any detours. The streets are bustling as always. I look to both sides of the crowd to see if there's any room for us to slip through. Agnar's a big fella. I'd prefer it if he didn't have to huddle. Always locking up, I take note of the big crystal hanging right beside me. The setup is just like any house light you'd see back home, except instead of a light bulb, there's a big rock. How could I have missed this before? It's pretty big, about the size of a watermelon. Mikkel said they need time to absorb the light. If they emit all night long, then they probably need the whole day to recharge, too. Reminds me of the solar panel problem. They only charge during the day, so you need to stockpile all you can get for the following night. I actually worked with solar panels a few times at the tech store. I bet there's some similarities between them, even if in a magical sort of way. As we walk down the street, a few people cast glances at me. It's not as obvious or as many as before, so it's easy to just ignore them. I guess Agnarr is right about getting more outside. At least people less interested in me. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon and our YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!